Look, niggas and fags everywhere. Alright, I say it's time for story time. Let's quiet it down a bit. The wind's a little less howling. Once upon a time, there was a sun and a moon. When the sun came up, the moon went down. When the moon came up, it was the sun's turn to go down. That's just how it went for a millennium. They never really saw each other. You know, it was just polar opposites. You know, occasionally you'd get a day where the sun would be up and the moon, he'd come up a little bit, you know, and they'd give a little salutations, greetings, your basic greetings, nothing much more than that. And that's just how it was for a millennium. I mean, a lot of time. It felt like forever to the sun, and I'll explain why. You see, the sun had developed sort of like a crush on the moon. He would see it come up sometimes, you know, or go down, and he'd think to himself, I mean, what a match would that be? The moon could come chill over on my side, and honestly, we could dip out from this stupid ass world and just stargaze for like more millenniums than we've even been around for. You see what I'm saying? But the sun, you know, like, it's just so hard to get on that level of the moon. It felt like it was like the moon sort of was this mean-spirited, condescending, arrogant, egotistical, and quite narcissistic form of entity or whatever. And the sun just wasn't like that. You know, so even though he knew, you know, if the moon could come around to his way of going about things, and, you know, see how glorious it can be just to bask in the sun and, you know, stargaze for a bit, you know, not take all that other shit off your mind for a while, like a sun does. If the moon would just come around to taking some time off from all the bitterness and shitty thoughts and feelings all the time, I mean, things would go good. They could dip out from the stupid world that they feel like they gotta fucking call on their fucking shoulders all the fucking time. So the sun came up with a plan. He decided he'd move a few inches back from the world and let it get cold. And he'd let the moon see just what he does on a daily basis. You know, it's not easy making sure the world continues to go around. with a good temperature and whatnot. So he did it. He said, all right, I'm going to back it up. The sun, he backed it up from the stupid world. He backed it up, and that shit got cold, brother. I mean, you talk about a cold, cruel world. Take the sun back a couple inches. All right, move the sun back a couple inches. Yeah, that's a cold world. All right. Now the moon saw this. She saw all the sufferings of the people who didn't give a fuck about, the moon or the sun or what was causing it or what they were gonna do. They just didn't like being cold, basically. And the moon sided with all these little fucking facts on this stupid world that they could easily just dip off from. She decided to side with them. She said, hey, sun, what the fuck are you doing? And mind you, she can't even communicate with these little fags, right? But, they look so cool and they're so happy and having, couples and going to cool events and bars and clubs and having sex. She likes all that kind of stuff, the moon did. So she said, hey, sun, what are you doing? You're going to let all these people die? The sun said, I mean, yeah. He said, there's plenty of better places out here. I mean, why do you... The moon said, no, you don't let all these people die. They're so important, and they have nice lives, and look at how happy they are. She pointed down at two people fucking. And I think that's when the sun realized that there was just no getting across to this moon. There's just no getting across to it. He realized that the stuff of this world, that the fact that she had allowed that to be bigger than him, it was like the final, oh. And so he dipped out, He just dipped out on his own type of thing. He let the world turn into a ball of ice, and the moon stayed with it. There was no more people fucking either. She didn't have shit to look at. She just stayed with it out of fucking spite. In a desolate fucking side of the fucking shit, just spiteful for the rest of eternity. The son went on to better pastures. He found another son, like a cool, pretty cool son, and they duoed up on a spiral universe or galaxy. They became a spiral galaxy. It was tight. But he really did want to be there for that moon. He wanted to show her what the world really could be, and that's what really sucks about it all. You can say, listen, I'll give you all of me. I have one life. I was born here on this planet. I have one life. I got 2/3 of it left, maybe 3/4, and I want it all to be for you. I want to lift mountains, cut people down, take over cities, all for you. You can say that to her, and it doesn't matter. Not anymore. It really hurts to offer every inch of yourself, and for that not to be enough. Like, as a man, Part of being a man is creating the delusions for yourself that you can conquer the world. And sometimes those delusions break out of delusion and they become reality for a man, and he conquers the world. But when you offer up those delusions to a woman and say, I'll conquer the world for you, and she just doesn't give a shit, imagine what that does to a man who's supposed to be conquering the world. I think we got it wrong. I don't think we're supposed to be conquering the world for a woman. I don't know if we're really even supposed to be conquering the world at all. It's kind of a shit place. It's kind of already past the point of saving. I don't think that would be good for it anyway. You know, maybe if the waters rise and wipe all this out, maybe that's what we need. Or maybe Bill Gates will come up with a good biochemical weapon, wipe us all out. That would be cool. I wouldn't like that too much. That's why I'm heading out West Virginia ways, Alaska ways. Avoid the biochemicals. Get a Tesla car. But, maybe we could just have a whole bunch of Muslims everywhere. Get them all fired up and ruin this place. That would be cool. Maybe we just spread a whole lot more black people everywhere. That would be cool. Fuck up the world some more. There's a billion ways we could fuck this place up. Sometimes I think about when I was a child, being in my parents' bed, laying down, maybe twinkle a morning light coming through the shades, and back then you don't have so many things on your mind. So when a plane goes overhead, you just listen, and you ask your mom and dad, what's that? You remember times like that? Now you just don't even notice. You could have 5 planes go over, multiply that times 365 days in a year, and you wouldn't notice a single one. You're just too busy getting digged down. Wrong direction. Wasn't trying to go there. I took a girl on a date. A Jewish girl. About a year ago. I took her to get coffee near where she lived. Picked her up, took her to get coffee. It was nice, I bought us a couple coffees. It was kind of sweet. We walked through the little town, square-ish. And then I took her to the big lake over here in Georgia. It's a big lake with tons of places you can sit by it because it's so big. It's all over the fucking state. Not really, but it's huge. So there's tons of different parks and places you can sit by it. And so I took her to a nice one, and we sat by it. This bitch is TikTok. I'm sitting there on a bench like this. I'm looking at possibly one of the most beautiful settings. Oh, I gotta fart. One of the most pristine, just water and the sun on the water, and it's quiet. You can hear the water rippling against these rocks down below your feet. Nothing but the sound of the breeze and a boat far off, some dude. This bitch is TikToking. I dropped her off and I went right back, and I stayed there like 2 hours, right down by the water. I found a little dock to lay down on. Just relax and just not think. I don't think bitches can do that. I don't think they possess that unless a man tells them to stop fucking thinking. And unfortunately, they don't want you to tell them what to do. Unless you done gave them some dick. Some fat dick, then yeah, tell them what the fuck to do. Or smack a couple $100 bills in their fucking face and then tell them what to do, Irks me. Alright, well, you guys got the 411 on the down low.